Yes, so today in Unreal what we're going to do is we're going to do a character driving around a vehicle, and specifically I've chosen some pretty messed up stuff to do this with, of course, like I usually do. So let's, so everybody, I told everybody to fire up Unreal. The first thing I want you guys to do is on your D drive, go into a folder with your name on it, and I want you to make a new folder in that folder and call it Hitler. And you can minimize that directory. And in Unreal, what we want to do is you can launch a new project. 4.12 is fine. That's what I'm using. And we want to do a vehicle project, specifically the advanced vehicle advanced. So just click New Project, Vehicle Advanced, Create Project. And you want to save that to that folder, Hitler. And if you wanted to make a new folder in there and call it like Unreal or something, and put the Unreal files in there, probably wouldn't be terrible. And then while that's launching, go ahead and open up an internet browser, and we want to go to our favorite site to download models, TF3DM. And in the search for TF3DM, you want to type in Hitler, and there is a really cool Hitler model in there. Go ahead and download that. And there's only one, so shouldn't be too hard to find. Shocker, yeah. And then you do another search for Jeep. And there is a Jeep in here called Jeep WW2, and it looks like, no, that's not it, damn it. Where is that Jeep? I think it's called, if you do a search for German, yeah, that's it. It's called Horch 1A 3D model. And it is a weird German vehicle. The Germans had a way of making really crappy vehicles for a while, and then they started making BMW and Audi, and then things got better. Volkswagen. What's that?
Not getting any search results for Horch.
Oh, so yeah, search German. And it's this weird three-tire vehicle.
Not in there as an OBJ.
Yeah, we're gonna have to convert that.
Okay.
Oh dear. that's not a big deal. So go ahead and save these models in your Hitler directory. Where the heck did that go? Oh. And so somebody just said it's not in there as an OBJ. That is a very good observation. We need a converter, actually. And so if you Google "3ds to FBX," you will find that Autodesk has created a FBX converter, which is quite handy. And we want to download the 64-bit version. And this is a really useful tool I did not know existed until the other day. And go ahead and install that converter when you download it. And I'm moving kind of quick here, so if you guys get behind, just somebody scream at me and say slow down. And make sure to download the 64-bit version. All right. So we're going to start with the vehicle first. And in your Hitler folder, it should be a 7Z file for 7-zip. If you right-click on that file and go to 7-zip, extract to the name of the directory.
You want the Explorer shell extension for the converter?
Sure. It's also going to make you extract the DDSs too. course not. Everybody getting caught up here? DDS is a texture file. So when I downloaded this this vehicle, it was in, of course, a 3DS format, which we needed converted for Maya, and which we got the converter for. And then there's also DDS textures that come with it. DDS is a texture format that NVIDIA made a while back, and Photoshop does not like it. Unreal does not like it. So we need to get a converter for those textures as well. So I just Googled DDS converter because Photoshop did not like to open it, and I came across this page, which looks like a mini batch converter for DDS. So I'm just going to wing it here and try it out. This is kind of how game development goes sometimes. It's kind of, oh, I need that tool, and just Google it and then grab it and make it work. Just Google DDS converter. And then go ahead and convert those textures to PNGs. It looks like you probably just drag them right into that thing. Nope, can't do that. There's an add feature. It'll probably allow you to do multiple. Yeah, it does, and it's a batch converter, which is awesome.
This DES converter should be like the first result. Really straightforward address. DES converter.
Yeah, that is incredibly handy tool. That is a great tool. And then you can delete your DDS files. So we will not need those anymore. Don't want to get confused.
Converting to
PNG.
okay.
That is extremely handy. I reserve the right to withhold an answer to that question. So once you convert your DDS files to PNG, go ahead and fire up your Autodesk FBX converter. Now this one was made a little bit better. We can drag and drop, which is awesome. So you want to drag it in on the left-hand side, your 3DS file. And so there's a couple settings here we want to make sure are working. And so when you load it in on the left, if you click it, we want all the settings on the left checked except for apply constant key, reducer filter, and add root. And then on the right hand side, we don't want to embed media, and we want to change that to ASCII. And go ahead and click convert, and it will add an FBX file in there, and then import that into Maya to test it.
So does this only work for 3ds files, or could you import like anything in there and convert it?
Man, I'll be honest with you, I have never used it before other than yeah, and it's humongous. Yeah.
Yes, doing the same thing.
It's doing the same thing. What thing is that? Everybody's coming okay? Textureless? Textureless is okay. Okay. Everybody here? Everybody with me? 14.5 seconds. Okay. So before we start fixing the textures on this thing, we want to make sure that it's set up correctly. Go ahead and go to your Windows hypergraph hierarchy, and let's see what the heck this thing is made up of. It looks like we've got
What's up menu? Is that
Windows hypergraph hierarchy. And it looks like we've got body here, which is the main part, wheels, light, glass, and like body, door, body, steering wheel, and body, roof.
How come it looks like everything's like Z5?
You know, I'm not sure, but there weren't any issues when I tested it out. Is it? It was the renderer. Well,
I think he went to
Um,
High quality? I don't get it when they're trying to go deep.
you know what it could be? That it's just massive. I'm not too terribly worried about it. I do, however, want to split these tires out of here. I want all the tires to be individual. Let's see. I'm looking at these textures here. So we've got glass, body, light, and wheel. So we definitely want to keep the body, the glass, and the light, and the wheel separate for applying the textures. So if you click the wheels, and in your polygons tab, there is a button called extract, and that's going to separate these objects. And the button looks like 3 white squares with a orange square separated, and that's going to pull those out into 1,000 pieces. Yeah, so just be wary of that. So what we want to do is grab those pieces now and combine them into one piece. What you can do is you can actually hide all the other objects in there. So if you select all the other objects and go to Show, Isolate, Select, View, actually you can just do Control H and hide them. And then you want to unparent all these polygons from this massive tree of polygons here. So if you just select them all and hit Shift P, it will unparent them. And then you'll have an even more massive stream of polygons. And then all you want to do is one by one drag a box over each wheel and go Mesh, Combine. And you just want to combine these wheels one by one. The center wheels you can combine to each other, but we just need each of the 4 individual regular wheels just as one solid piece.
How do you do the unparent after you got them all selected?
You just hit Shift P. You're missing a wheel. A wheel and a half. Go to Mesh, Combine. I hid the. It's probably better to hide. It's probably better to hide the stuff. So, like, you already slipped them down. Oh, they're hidden. You may need to re-import that FBX. Was it there when you imported the FBX?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
And it just disappeared? Just try re-importing the FBX again and just... I don't know where it went. So to merge the wheels together, you just go to merge, or I'm sorry, mesh up at the top, combine. And you can actually pop this window out. There's a little dashed line at the top. It allows you to pop the window out so you can quick back and forth, which makes things like really easy. Yeah, mesh combine.
Not selecting the inside of the wheel on a drag select.
Try and right click on it and go to, right click and hold and go to object mode.
Hey Chris,
Yeah.
I tried emailing the videos for the Unreal project to you,
Uh-huh.
but I got an email back from y'all saying that it couldn't be delivered.
What, did it give you an error?
No, it just says it just can't be delivered, and I need to try sending it again.
Okay, hang on till,
That was what I got. So I'll just do it again when I get home.
that's fine. Everybody good to go here? Ninja, you good? Catching up? Okay, in your hypergraph hierarchy, now that you've combined all those wheels, you should see on the far right hand side, we have fresh new polygons. And then we have like a bunch of like, a ton of like other weird kind of crazy polygons. We can go through and like wipe those out. It generated a bunch of weirdness. And by weirdness, I mean they're like double, kind of double layer. Yeah, those can be all wiped out. So you can just select them and hit delete on your keyboard. It's the ones that look different from all the other ones. Oh, did it kill your wheels? Oh no. Well, let's not panic just yet. Let me try something.
Whenever I control Z, I don't have those doubles anymore.
You don't have the doubles anymore?
Yeah.
Transform control.
Well, don't freak out just yet. I think they're just missing a shader. I could be wrong though. I've been wrong before. So when you hit Control Z, they don't come back, huh?
Well, the wheels give enough of weirdness.
Oh, the wheels come back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
You just don't get those doubles in control.
Great. Crash solo. Well, that's great. So y'all's worked great. So the do you still have all those all the extra?
I got them all, but they're not double. Like the things underneath them are gone.
Okay. I think what you got to do is grab the actual wheels themselves and like duplicate them. Like all the wheels.
At once.
Here, I'll show you here. I just we need to clear those files out. Clear those the weirdness. While still having wheels. Does that make sense? So all I did was I just duplicated the wheels. Like I selected them and did Control D and moved them over, and then just selected everything and deleted it, and then moved them back.
Deleted the originals.
Yeah. Well, no, I duplicated the new ones, and then deleted everything, and then moved the new ones over. Does that make sense? Here, if you guys watch up here, I'll show you exactly what I did. So you've got all these weird polygons. And so these are my new ones here. See my new ones here? And all I did was I went Edit, Duplicate, and then moved them over. And then selected the old wheels.
You don't have to move them. You could just select the last 5. That way it's like perfect.
You could do that. And then I went through and selected all this crappy stuff. And deleted it.
So what is that? What is that?
And then I selected these wheels, and then there's a number over here in Translate Z. And I just set that to 0, and they snap back to the origin. You know, I think it has to do with Maya's history. There's a little arrow under surfaces. There's like a little line with an arrow. If you click that, there's a little clock with a list. It's called construction history. It's always good to kind of keep that turned off. I mean, because we do a lot of crazy stuff in here, so. Everybody get it figured out?
Which one's the construction?
This one here. There's a little line under surfaces. There's a little line with an arrow. If you click it, it pops out like a expanded menu. And then there's a little clock with a list. Everybody still with me here?
Nah.
You get lost?
Got too many poly surfaces.
Okay. Nathan, did you get it figured out? Can you show him? Oh. Anybody need any help?
Duplicated tires only moved the originals.
good? You guys good?
Yes.
Okay, guys, let's keep it moving here. Okay, let's go ahead and unhide our objects here. So go to Display, Show All, and the wheels will come back. And so since we're going to go ahead, and the reason I wanted you guys to install the physics stuff is because I wanted these little flags here to flow in the wind while the car's driving. I figured might as well. So go ahead and we want to select these flag polygons. So if you right click on them and go to face, and the flags are like right by the lights in the front. So select all the faces on the flags. And you can do both flags at one time by holding Shift. And make sure you're only selecting the flag faces. I guess we could do the mud flaps too. I didn't think about that. Well, no, they're not really mud flaps. Yeah. So we're going to do extract again. We're going to use that extract tool again. And what it's going to do, I believe, is it's going to separate those out. You want to click the actual objects. And it creates duplicates of them. But you want to select them and delete. You want to delete them. So we want these to be separate polygons. So it creates like a duplicate. So you just want to make it to where they're just separate objects.
Yeah, whenever we separate it and we drag it out and we click the flag again, it's not like they're all connected.
They're all connected. Didn't you just select the faces and delete them? Yeah, mine had a different result.
Should be on there, flags as well.
Are they? I haven't looked at the structure. Are they under body?
Well, we mean, now we have to cancel this one out.
Let's take a look. Oh, I see. Yeah, we want to unparent those from the body.
It's not grabbing a couple of the faces there, rather. Back in the object rows.
Yeah.
Oh, are you in food? Like first three? First one. First one.
Let's try and shift selecting individual triangles or faces.
No, select everything. Don't always know. Now select it. Left, right, one. Go. Okay, we just need to
Um,
Select your class and hit extract.
everybody good up there? All right.
So, but when I go to objects, let's see if it, no, it's still part of the same object.
Oh, that, because there's duplicates.
You guys getting it? somewhere along the way that got
I think
that got lost. Hey guys, save your files. Save them as like Jeep or something. Jeep's probably good. Watch mine crash.
I will not find the first one. Why is stuff anybody again? Why is it different than hierarchy?
Yeah, Chris, how come yours is good?
I don't know. If you unparent them and delete that body group node, that's what we kind of want to do. Yeah, if you select everything and hit Shift P, and then yeah, you just want to delete that body group node. Yeah, I'll show you. My computer's having a heart attack at the moment. Oops. Nope.
Most well-built thing.
No problem. Okay, so like up here, if you see, I've got, mine are all under this body group node thingy, and I'm just gonna select these are, what are these? This is the body, this is flag 1 and flag 2. I just select these and hit Shift P, and then delete this empty body group node, which does nothing for anybody. So we're getting pretty close here to where we can actually work with this thing. We just gotta like,
Is this something that we would have to do for all car models, potentially?
no, not necessarily. This is just weird stuff that happens sometimes with models. Models do weird stuff. Okay. So, I can't think of anything else. Oh, we should center the pivot point on the tires. So if you select each tire, go up to Modify, Center Pivot, and you just select each one and go to Center Pivot. And it'll center the pivot point in each object.
Can we do that for the steering wheel?
Yeah, you want to do that for the steering wheel. The only problem with the steering wheel is it's not going to center exactly. So what you want to do is when you center it for the steering wheel, you hit insert on your keyboard, and it'll allow you to move the actual pivot, and you want to move it in the center of that triangle there.
So select the steering wheel, modify.
Yeah, you do modify center pivot, and then once the pivot's centered, click insert on your keyboard, and then it should allow you to move the actual pivot point for the object, and then if you hit insert again, it will set it, and then when you rotate the steering wheel, well, we're gonna put a bone there.
Insert isn't doing anything.
Hit W.
No. This is the mine was not.
Thank you.
Alright, everybody good? Okay. The next thing we're going to do is I want to show you how to turn on the well, we're not going to do that just yet. Save your scene as Jeep, and then let's go ahead and put the textures on this guy. So in your panel layouts, on the left-hand side, the second panel layout from the bottom, there's one that opens up your panel layout that looks like this, with the hypershade on the left. This is what we want, and you'll see all these shaders in here, all these materials that are black. That means it can't find the texture. So if you just double click on those, you'll see under color, just like we did for Batman, we need to redirect these to the right. They're set for bitmaps right now. We just need to change them to our PNGs. So for example, this one's wheel D. So I'm just going to go find that. Do what now? Oh yeah, technically you could do that. You could name it to, well, I don't know.
Getting brown blobs instead of textured wheels.
Brown blobs?
Yep.
Well, that's no good. When you load your textures in, go ahead and save the scene again.
So I think there's something that has some issue with how the tires, how the texture is kind of overlapping itself a little bit,
Yeah, because it's like a big ass.
I guess.
It's like pretty sure it made that right. They did the drawing.
gave you my exact same file.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
What?
Anybody having any problems? Everybody okay? And man, I don't know what.
Something weird going on with that.
Something weird going on?
Yeah.
Hey Nathan, you free? Can you try and help him? Your flash drive is not popping up in my thing now.
Mine's using the wrong way, but
I don't know what.
yeah.
Are your flags? No, yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Wait, set all this to 0.
It popped out of the.
Yeah, it does that. Should just be a. Shouldn't affect its functionality.
No. It seems to not be.
Oh, here, switch your printer to 2.0. Yeah, I know. I'm glad I figured that out.
Can't seem to get this right today, can we?
On which printer?
So I'm just on everything now.
I mean,
If you go to high quality, it's like the very bottom.
no working.
I'll email you a Google Drive link. Or,
Here, just do this. Go to, Wikisend.
Jess is gonna get a copy of his on his thumb drive.
Oh, is his working?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh boy. Okay, guys, there's some people still catching up here. What we're going to do is we're going to move on from the car here. This guy's pretty much ready to go. So let's just save it. And we're going to go ahead and make a new file. And we're going to go into Unreal. And in Unreal, under Content, if you search for, if you change your filters to skeletal mesh, there's the vehicle skeletal mesh. Yeah, well, that's one thing you can do, of course, is just hit play. That's okay. Hit play. What we want to do is we want to export this car out of here. So if you click on content and change your filters to skeletal mesh, vehicle scale mesh will pop up, and then you can right click on it and go to asset actions, export, and you want to export that to your directory. Did you do vehicle skeletal mesh? Or skeletal mesh?
Yeah. I see the mission with the people that here's this time.
The filter on that thing right there. Click that again. Go to blueprint.
Mine crashed on that one. Like, when I double clicked to open the FBX, it opened.
No, you don't click. No, it's right there. That's.
That's the blueprint, that's not.
Why was the default?
You're just sending the blueprint, right? Yeah.
You're exporting. So if you go to, not blueprint, if you click on content, go to filters and change it to skeletal mesh.
Same thing
Oh.
happened.
And then you want to import that skeletal mesh into Maya.
Oh, I was doing the same thing. I was clicking.
Going to Unreal.
Yeah, and click on content. And then go to filters and change that to skeletal mesh. And now right click on that, go to asset actions, export.
Bring that into a new scene in Maya.
Yeah, just import it into a new scene in Maya. All right, everybody here? So make a new scene and import your car in there. All right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to rip off this car, off this skeleton, and then we're going to put the Hitler's car on the skeleton. There's a couple technical steps we got to do beforehand. The first thing we're going to do is, right now the car is skinned to the bones, so we need to unskin it. So if you go up to Edit, Delete All by Type History, Edit, Delete All by Type History, that will wipe the skin away. And then if you hide the, go to Show and turn off Joints, you can select all of the car and delete it, and then turn Joints back on. Okay, let's move on here. The next step is whenever you skin something to a skeleton, it creates a bind pose, and we need to wipe that bind pose from the skeleton because we're going to rebind something and we want it to be kind of from scratch. So go to your Windows hypergraph hierarchy again, and if you select the skeleton in Maya and then in your hypergraph hierarchy hit F, it'll zoom to it. And then there's a little button in your hypergraph hierarchy under Show called Input and Output Connections. It's like a little icon. If you click that, it's going to graph all those connections that are connected to that. There's a lot of stuff, but in the center of this massive configuration is something called bind pose 1. And if you select that and delete it, then this thing will no longer have a bind pose, which is what we want. And once the bind pose is gone, we can once the bind pose is gone, you can go ahead and save this scene as a Maya file and just save it as like vehicle skeleton. And then we are going to import the Jeep file into this scene. So go to Import and then click your Jeep file and import it into this scene. Now my textures aren't working. Awesome. I think that might have been a display issue. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but mine aren't working either, but I'm just going to go with it.
Which render are you using? Viewport 2.0?
I'm using Viewport 2.0. So I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. Okay, so as you can see, if you go into wireframe, hit 4, our vehicle is like 300 times, well, more like 10 times the size of the actual skeleton, right? So what we want to do is we want to scale this, and it's turned. So we want to scale our vehicle down. Go to Show and Hide Joints, and then select all of your vehicle and group it. So group is Control G. And then when you group something, it's really cool. It groups all the objects and centers the pivot point at the base of the grid. So you can now scale that down. You want to scale it and rotate it. And I'll tell you the exact measurement here. Basically, we want to scale it. It looks like it's perfectly scaled. X, Y, and Z 0.15 and rotate of 90 degrees. So if you scale it in X, Y, Z is 0.15 and rotate it 90 degrees, that's pretty damn close. Yeah, along Y.
axis of the skeleton,
Uh-huh.
how it doesn't line up, is that going to cause any issues?
What we're going to do is we're going to move the bones to the new centers of the wheels.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a trick to help you snap our bones here. We're going to move the wheel bones to the wheels. And if you click a wheel and hit Control A, your attribute editor will pop up and you'll see something that says Jeep polysurface 40 or something. It's like a little tab. It's the far left tab up here. And there's a drop down that says pivots. There is a checkbox that says display rotate pivot. And when you click that and zoom into that wheel, you'll see a little rotate pivot point in there now. And we want to turn that rotate pivot on for all. You have to do it individually for all wheels, unfortunately. And we want to do the steering wheel.
We're leaving the spare tires alone.
Yeah, the spare tires are okay. Everybody got all your rotate pivots turned on? Okay, I just noticed something about this car mesh here. It looks like we have some keys on our objects, which is really weird. Go ahead and hide your joints again. So go to Show Joints, turn off Joints, and select all the objects. And go to Windows, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. And if you zoom out, you'll see there's some keys on 000, which is really weird. Just go ahead and select those and delete them. And we've been working on this vehicle now for, I don't know, a little over an hour. And basically what we've been doing is just cleaning this mesh that we found online, because there's a lot of and we want to use it. But oftentimes when you get stuff off the internet, like, you'll have to like go through and clean it, basically, because it's got all kinds of legacy stuff from wherever it came from. Does that make sense?
What's the most efficient way to delete the keys?
Select them and hit delete on your keyboard.
You press F to get them on your
Yeah, you can hit F to zoom on them. And then when that's done, yeah, that's good. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do, you can bring your joints back. And we need to grab the wheel joints and snap them to the rotate pivots. The problem is this has a bunch of joints. And we need to grab the correct joints that Unreal is going to use for tire movement.
I'm still having some difficulty selecting the keys. Can't get the selection of them to delete them. Okay.
Got 'em? So if you open up your hypergraph hierarchy, and you're going to scroll down your list of bones, if your expand network is still up on the left-hand side of that, is an icon that says scene hierarchy. If you click that, it'll go back from being graphing all the connections to just a normal view. And what you're looking for, you're going to zoom in on 4 bones in particular, and they're called the fizz wheel BL, BR, FL, and FR. And what that stands for, probably obvious, maybe not, is back left, back right, front left, and front right. And what you're going to do is you're going to select each one of those, and you'll see the corresponding tire because it'll be close. And when you move it, if you hold V, you can snap it to that green rotate pivot on the wheel. So you just want to select each one of those from the list and hold V while you move it. V is in violet or Venus or vaccination. But Unreal likes these fizz wheels. I don't know why.
Holding V is making it snap to what?
You want to snap to the rotate pivot.
No, I know that, but holding V, like, what does that do? Like the button itself.
Snaps to the nearest verse.
Okay.
We grab we get this wheel, hold B,
And move it. So hit W to move. And while you move it, if you hold V, it will snap to that green pivot. Alright, everybody good? Alright, so now we are going to create a new joint for the steering wheel. So go down to your graph, anywhere on the graph, and there is a rigging tab. And we're going to click the joint tool, which is second from the left, create joints. And if you hold X, you can snap it to any grid joint, or any grid space, and then hit enter, and it will create the joint. And then you want to move that to the rotate pivot on the steering wheel. So V snap it, just like we V snapped the other ones. And then with that joint selected, that steering wheel joint, you can rename it steer on the right hand side. And with it selected, shift select the skeleton and then hit P. and then that will parent the joint into the skeleton. So make sure you have the steering wheel joint selected first, then shift select the main skeleton and hit P. And it will parent it right in.
It should look like that, right?
Yeah, it looks like, if you look at mine, it goes to a point on the steering wheel.
And when you drag it, it's still.
What's that, Nathan?
I was just asking, it's connected still whenever you drag the pivot point.
Yeah, when I drag this,
Yeah, okay.
it stays connected.
Okay, so click that and click the.
But the steering wheel is the group with the, not the joints, but with all the body, geometry. Is there a way to move it, or should I delete that?
It should look like this. Your geometry at this point should look all like this.
Group one, I've got steering wheel off to the side of it.
Let me see. Shouldn't be. Maybe you missed that. Yeah, you want to just drag that under group one. It's okay. And you can name that group one. You can name that, name it Jeep group. Middle mouse will allow you to move that in there.
Okay.
There you go.
Looks good. It's great. Transform. Let's see. What are we renaming the group?
So in your hypergraph hierarchy, if you find all your meshes, they should be under a group called group one. Just rename that Jeep group.
A little bit yours.
What happened?
Well, when I found. Oh, never mind.
Hey Nathan, they having a crisis over there? Or what's-
What is your steering wheel joint on under your Jeep group?
The joint?
Yes.
Is yours off in space?
No, mine's under my Jeep group, not under Beagle Skeleton.
Oh yeah. Yeah, put it under.
Under the vehicle header. Right now I have it there.
So joints should be under joints and polygons should be under polygons. Hey, if he's like really far back, somebody can just give him a file. Or if something's really messed up. What happened?
This pivot point isn't set on the steering wheel like the original, how we did with right click and then
Was insert, you mean?
yeah, how we made the very first pivot point, his steering wheel got messed up and now we can't get it centered to the steering wheel.
Oh, that's it?
Keeps getting offset.
I'm trying to grab the gizmo.
Let me see.
Why don't you find the location? Just translate it to 30 seconds.
So, in light of your crap like
Yo.
Yeah.
How many models?
You guys got it? Sweet. Okay. Let's move on. Alright, so we got a steering wheel. We have tires ready to go. And that should be all we need. Now we just need to skin this guy. So go ahead and save your scenes right now as Jeep 2. And one thing, if you go in the hypergraph hierarchy, I renamed the group that all the vehicles under here as Jeep group. And before we skin anything, we need to delete all the history and freeze all the transformations. So in your hypergraph hierarchy, if you just select all the mesh objects, so not the skeleton, just the mesh objects under Jeep group, including Jeep group, and go to edit, delete by type, not delete all by type. So edit, delete by type, history, and then modify, freeze transformations. So delete by type history deletes all the history on the mesh, and freeze transformations clears out all the rotate, translate, and scale data. So basically it thinks this car was created. You having a problem there?
Yeah, I get a freeze transformation was not applied because Jeep Light Translate X has incoming connection.
Right, so if you select all the objects, it's because there's keys on it. Select all the objects and go to Graph Editor, Window Animation Editor's Graph Editor, and find the keys and wipe them out. And then you should be able to.
No? Alright, cool.
Alright. So now with all those objects selected, shift select the skeleton and change the modeling drop down to rigging, and then go to skin and then the option box for bind skin, and we want to check on our typical check boxes here, which is allow multiple bind poses and maintain max influences. Everything else can get wiped out, and then we want max influences to be at 4 because the PhysX plugin likes it to be at 4, not 5 for some reason.
Where do you get the skin menu?
There's a drop down on the left, upper left. It's on modeling right now. Change it to rigging, and when you're done, just go ahead and hit bind skin. And save this scene as Jeep 3. What's up?
Nothing much. So what were you doing 2 in the morning?
Last night?
Yeah.
I just couldn't sleep. I watched a bunch of scary movies that day.
Keeping you up?
Yeah, and so just
I went to bed real early at like 8, and I was like, oh sweet, I'll wake up really early in the morning.
yeah.
Then an hour later I woke up because I forgot it was 4th of July.
All right. So this guy is almost ready. Let's go ahead and everybody good to go? Everybody with me? We can go ahead and make the physics flags. Might as well. So go ahead and load your physics plugin. Windows setting and preferences plugin manager. And all the way at the bottom, make sure you save your scene, by the way, as Jeep, whatever the next one is for you. Load your PhysX plugin. Everybody loves PhysX.
I made this like chain,
Mhm.
and it simulates physics because I was just trying to get a chain
Mhm.
and like move, and drag and act like a chain,
Mhm.
and like it works for the most part till the character hits it, and then it just explodes. What would cause that?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I'm sure it's just a collision setting, but it was just so weird because it like anything else that hits it perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The moment the character touches it, it like can't handle it.
Okay. So, we've got our PhysX plugin loaded. Now time for some PhysX fun. So go ahead and click on. Well, let's go ahead and skin our dude here. So we need to go to the Paint Skin Weights menu. Probably the quickest thing to do, to be honest with you, is to select all of the objects, like every single object, so you can hide your joints. Just go to Show Joints, or you can select all the objects in the tree, doesn't matter. And then click on your Paint Skin Weights tool. Double click it, sorry. And what you want to do is flood all the weights to vehicle, which is the main bone. So double click your Paint Skin Weights tool with all the objects selected. And then there's a little button, make sure vehicle is selected, and then there's a little button called flood. And that will flood all the weights to that main bone. Your vehicle will turn solid white. Yeah, if your vehicle is not in shaded mode, you don't want to be in wireframe, so hit 5 or 6. And then what you want to do is one by one, remember there's those fizz wheels So one by one, select a tire, then double click your paint skin weights tool and find the corresponding fizz wheel, which is down in that tree. And as you select the fizz wheels, if you hit 4 for wireframe, the actual joint will light up light blue. You'll have to turn your joints back on. But I can show you here. As you can see, the joint will light up light blue as you select it. See how they show? And that way you know you've got the right tire and the right joint combination selected. And you want to flood those wheels to the joints. So you just select a wheel, double click paint skin weights tool, find the right fizz wheel, and then flood it. And that's why we went through the painstaking process of making these wheels all one object each, so that we could just quickly flood them, because they are a pain in the butt to do otherwise. And also do the steering wheel.
Trouble getting out of the paint tool to select the wheel.
Just select the wheel and then double click the paint tool again. So I'm gonna, I don't know if we're gonna, we may be able to cruise through Hitler, I'm not sure. I was hoping to get done with this today, but I don't know. We're moving at a snail pace here.
Okay.
So.
So I set up all the things we've been using that I know of, and found information on their license and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So, but I didn't read any of it because I ain't doing that. But I found it, so it's a little bit easier.
I can look at it.
But Blender and SVN Tortoise are awesome because they're under the
GNU.
yeah, the GNU GPL, whatever it's called, which is just completely free. You know, awesome. Which I think is crazy for Blender. Like,
I'm done. I know what that's all. I saw them.
you
Yeah.
should put that on the server. So Matthew, because he's gonna probably keep using it in every classroom.
Yeah.
now, so he doesn't have to download it every time.
Are you guys all set?
No, I don't.
Oh no.
And Maya, or not Maya, Mixamo and Views, their thing's super sketchy. Like, they're like, oh, we're free for a limited duration as a technology preview. But they've had that on their license for almost a year now.
Yeah, it's best to probably call them and be
Yeah.
like, what's the deal?
Because it's super sketchy. I just added Substance Painter since that's what we're using too.
Okay,
Good to go?
good to go.
All right. So, let's go ahead and set up our, so we're guys skinned here. All we needed to do was wheels and steering wheel. So now let's do the flags. So I'm gonna click on my physics tab here, and I think we can shift select these flags and click the Create PhysX Clothing. Let's see if that works.
Keep it.
What?
Just keep it. It's cool.
Yeah, just keep it. Did that work?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh, you know what? They're separate polygons.
Oh.
That if you combine them, I bet you could.
Well, I'm not gonna do. Don't combine them.
They're not the same
Just
physics,
do
right?
them one at a time. It's okay.
What do you do?
Yeah. So once you do them one at a time, you want to paint those. Everybody's familiar with the physics process by now, I assume. Ish. So we basically want to paint the So what do we flood it? We flooded at 0, right? And then we paint everything but the back part of the flag at 90. Is that right? So paint the entire flag white except for the back verts, so it stays planted.
And we're painting skin weights.
No, this is paint in your physics clothing surface thingy, not the skin weights. So those should have been flooded. Those should be flooded. That flag should friggin' drop. Just like that.
Mine keeps like dropping down the pole.
In your paint skin weights,
Yeah.
make sure you flood it.
Yeah, I did that.
In not the. Yeah, in that, move it to 0. Slide the slider all the way to 0, and then flood it. Now slide it to 90, and now paint everything but the. There you go.
Do you need to set collision to the little pole so it stops spinning around it?
I don't know.
It's merry-go-round. So the Unreal grant is at the end of each month.
Oh, okay.
So we can technically still possibly make this month possible.
We paint both sides of the flag.
You just need to paint one side of the flag.
Ooh.
And we'll make it two-sided. So if you run the preview on it, your flag should be doing this.
Okay, so this is the people that won last month's Unreal grant.
Is it cool?
Well, they no longer say how much money they get, but this group won, and like it's not even, some of them aren't even games. Like this is some community thing.
Okay.
Then this guy made VR stuff. This is a sculptor for VR. This
Frame
looks
playback
crazy cool, though.
simulation speed. Everybody good to go on PhysX? PhysX good to go over here? You guys good? Just about? Okay, save your scene as a new version. Jeep 4. And I believe we are good to export this guy. Oh, you know what? The flags need to be on their own texture, their own material. So go into your Hypershade again. And we need to make a new... And why is this popping up like this? I'm not seeing my little balls. There's another way to get to it. If you just go to Panel Hypershade, and that's not working for me either.
Go to your Hypershade editor, go to Window and Browser.
Oh, okay. Window, browser. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that works. So we need a new material here. So you can just go ahead and click a Lambert. If you click a Lambert and name this flags, and then click on color, then file, then load in the, I assume it's on body D, and then apply that to the flags. Is having not working. So and D is for defuse. Do you remember the steering? Oh crap, there's one more thing we need to do. If it was 60 degrees or what did we? I think it was like 60 degrees.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't think I saw that.
I think it was 60. Okay. Everybody good? We got it on a new thingy? Anybody need any help? Everybody good? Okay. There's one more thing we need to do with the steering wheel. We need to make sure that the steering wheel bone is rotating around the correct axes. So zoom in on your steering wheel bone. And below skeleton is a little 4-view pane thing with an arrow. If you click that, and then next to it is a line with an arrow, expand that. There's a question mark. If you click that question mark, the rotate or the joint orient will pop up here. And what you want to do is rotate that joint orient to where it's like diagonal with the actual steering wheel. You can click the little rotate pivot or the joint orient. Does that make sense? Everybody see it?
How did you get there?
So look where my mouse is.
Yes.
under skeleton, there's a little thing. Click that. And then there's another line with an arrow through it. Click that, and it'll expand another window to where you can see a question mark.
Skeleton.
Under skeleton is this icon here. It's called select by component type.
Putting in skeleton drop down menu from the top.
Yeah, underneath that, not in the menu, but
Okay.
is an icon underneath that.
Select by component types. Yeah.
So click that, then the line through the arrow with it on the right.
Yeah.
Click that, and then you'll see a little question mark. Click that.
Okay. Select miscellaneous objects.
Whenever I click the join, it selects the whole card.
Yeah, you want to click the actual joint orient inside the joint. So you got to click the Y, X, Y, Z. It's kind of weird, but you getting it? Having problems?
I've got the question mark select. I've also got a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, you want to turn all this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might need a interview.
You get anything? You get it? Yes, you got this. Got all these turned on.
All of that is awesome.
You okay? Everything good? Oh, you're super far. Okay, we're just trying. You want you want my file here?
Yeah.
Okay, can you give a flash drive? Whoops. Yeah, sometimes it just there's a lot of this is really step heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Step heavy is always fun. G4. Okay. Okay, guys. Save your scenes, and it's time to export this guy for Unreal. So the first step is File, Export All. change it to FBX. And now the infamous FBX settings. We want smooth groups on, no animation, no cameras, and no lights. And we want to embed media. So smooth groups in geometry and smooth mesh and referenced asset content. Those are default selected though. So I just say smoothing groups because that's the one you check on. And then no cameras, no lights, no animation. And then turn on embed media. And then we're going to save this as Jeep to Unreal. And export. And now we need to export some animations here before we need to create one. On your timeline, I want you to change your timeline from right now it's on 1 to 200 or something. Change it to 0 to 10. So you should have 0 to 10 frames. Make sure you can slide from 0 to 10. And we'll turn on auto key, which is on the bottom right hand corner. Toggle on auto key. And we want to select that steering wheel joint and hit on frame 0, hit S to set a key, and then move to frame 10, and then rotate the steering wheel negative 60 degrees in X.
Oh, I see. That sets it.
Yeah.
You are animating the wheel.
We are animating the wheel. That's okay, right?
I guess. I don't know how to set that up unless it's part of the Hitler animation.
It's part of the vehicle animation.
Yeah. I'll take some
We're having the steering wheel
testing.
on frame 0. Yes.
Why is that doing it?
Because I figured out how to get a blend space to work, but I figured out how to get a 1D blend space, not 2D. And that's something I was going to try, which I don't think it's that hard, but it would take me a second.
Everybody good?
Hold on, I have to transfer files to
Thought I did.
Ninja, what happened?
The joint disappeared from the steering wheel.
Uh-oh. If you want, I can give you the Hitler files that I have, so you can move them over here if you want to play with it.
Is it gonna
It's the exact same setup.
run smoothly on here, this one?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Oh, no.
Do I need to use my thumb drive?
Sure.
Like that's what
I have the project all set up and all the files in it. I'll just give it to you.
You don't want me to put on it? Where do you want it?
Just put it on the desktop, I guess we can see.
But basically, Hitler has a turn. The vehicle has a turn.
Yeah.
Just need to connect them together so that when you push A to turn, they
will.
both do this. When you push D to turn, they both do this. It should be like crazy simple.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it should be like crazy simple. I can't see why.
Because I didn't look into it as much as I wanted to.
That's okay.
Minus 60. The number pad in it, that's what they want.
You guys getting there?
Could you come help me with this? Like whenever I steer it, I'm still getting kind of, it gets a little wonky on the steering wheel column.
Well-
Yeah, everybody says that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now let's export these, or export this. So file, export all. And this time we're gonna turn on animation and turn on bake animation. And we're gonna export this animation as turn left, or we'll do V turn left for vehicle. Make sure your start is at 0 and your end is at 10. Export all. And then you're going to make another animation. You can delete those keys. This time, you just on the right, on frame 10, you can just rotate it so it's positive 60 degrees. And you'll export that animation as V turn right. So just export all again. V turn right. And
How come whenever I slide my, or the sign and everything, it doesn't look like anything's spinning?
Auto key.
Yeah, I had that click.
When you went to auto, or type in 60 on your radius,
Yeah.
or sorry, your rotate X, make sure you're not using the number pad.
Is everything we set up last time still in here?
Yeah,
Hmm.
because it won't.
Should be if you hit play.
Because
I'll
all
wait
it
for
does
the
is
compiler.
then you'll hit S, and S replaces that 60 because it doesn't actually hit X. Focus, focus doesn't.
Nah, that still doesn't work. You're going wrong.
Make sure you're setting your key on the bone. So you can reset the key. Hit S.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Are those wheels glitching out?
It's probably a physics thing. I'm not really concerned about the wheels, to be honest with you. That works great.
Okay, so it's not.
Oh, okay, then you
Oh, he was starting to see that.
You guys getting it? And then when you're finished, we need one more animation exported of the wheel in its starting pose as an idle. You guys good over there? Getting there?
That would just go back to 0 degrees rotation.
And then for your last animation, delete that key on the frame 10. Make sure there is a key on frame 0, and export this one as V idle. You can do it.
So far, I think I can.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do you want me to name everything?
I just figure out how to do it.
Okay.
It doesn't make a difference. It's probably always a good practice to, you know.
Name everything.
Yeah. You guys okay up there? You got it okay? You good? Yeah, it should be V idle, which with it's just chilling there with one key on 0, and then V turn left and V turn right. We also need to export the physics flags. So if you shift select those, or just select the physics flags, we got to. What's that?
Object mode select.
Yeah, object mode select. We have to go to File, Export Selection, change it to physics. And I assume since we haven't touched this, we just leave it on meters. I'm guessing here. And all you check on is export physics assets. Since we don't have a collision rig, we're just going to keep that turned off. And we'll call this flags and export it. You doing okay over there, Ninja?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not able to select anything but the joints.
Change your right click on the car and then go to object mode.
I've tried that.
You may need to like select them from a different angle. Yeah, there's that. Alright guys, and when you're finished, make sure you delete all the keys off that steering wheel. It's set back to 0. And then save your scene as a new one. And now we will do some work on Hitler. So make a new scene and go ahead and import Mr. Hitler. Need to extract his file. You want to import just Hitler. That one seems to work pretty good. When you try to do what? I guess try and close Maya and reopen it. Yeah, you want to import Hitler. And make sure you go File, Import. And then hit 6 when he comes in to see his textures. Alright, everybody got Hitler? Alright, so now we need to make sure Hitler actually fits inside of the vehicle. Probably a pretty important step. So what we're going to do is we're going to reference the vehicle in so we can like check the size, make sure it's okay. So go to File, Create Reference, and reference in your latest Jeep file. So he was, yeah, he's not super off, but he's a little big. So you can kind of like try and move him into position a little bit and see kind of how he fits. He's probably a hair big. So I'm gonna guess if you scale him to 0.9, .75 is probably a little too small. I mean, we want him to kind of look like he's in a clown car. Yeah, so if you scale him to 0.9, he's probably okay. And then you can zero back out his translates and his rotates, so he pops back to 0. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just hide the car here, but we're gonna keep it referenced in the scene because we'll need it for animation. So if you go to File, Reference, Editor, you'll see the Jeep's referenced in the scene. You can just uncheck it and it will disappear from the scene but remain in the reference list. So now what we want to do is freeze transformations on Hitler so that he's frozen at 0.9. So go modify freeze transformations, and let's go ahead and export him out for Mixamo.
Do we need to change his orientation?
No, we'll fix that in Unreal. So orientations and scale and stuff isn't like a huge deal. You can fix all that stuff in Unreal. But it's always good to try and get it as exact as you can in your base programs. So go ahead and export Mr. Hitler here. So export all. And we don't want animation. And we want to keep embed media. And we're going to export him as Hitler to Mixamo. And you guys all know the process from here. You go to File, Reference Editor, and uncheck Jeep. And we are going to rig Mr. Hitler. Click on Store, Upload, and we'll go ahead and get him uploaded. Make sure you put the left stuff on the left stuff and the right stuff on the right stuff.
Someone won't let me upload it.
Why?
It just says it can't process it and upload it.
That's the exact error it gave you?
Yeah, so sorry we can't upload.
I will, if you give me your, I'm going to export this guy out. Guys, when you're done, go ahead and export out the Hitler asset from Mixamo. And if you give me your, oh, is that working now?
No.
Oh. If you give me your,
Unable to read the file.
what?
Unable to read the
Yeah,
file.
just give me your flash drive and I'll. I'll just give you this one. Are y'all making Hitler do dances and stuff?
Goofy, bud.
Man, that's not even cool.
We just done our original pose or
T-pose is fine.
Moment of truth.
Yeah, go ahead and make a new scene in Maya and import this guy into Maya. There you go.
Oh, there's something wrong with the wheel. See, it's like breaking.
All right, give me a second.
And that might be affecting the animation. So, I've been wondering why he's like been spazzing out because he shouldn't be, and it's because the wheel's like breaking.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah,
are we doing FBX or FX for Unreal Engine 4?
we're doing FBX.
Are you doing T-pose or original? Sorry.
T-pose.
See, you can see it, it's like breaking the wheel. See, it just like.
Well, so where is? When I imported this, did I use the vehicle skeleton? Is this using the actual vehicle skeleton?
Where's the
Like when I imported this
Character.
car, did I select a
I
vehicle?
wasn't here for that.
Okay. Well, on here, so this is supposed to have animations on it.
Yes, new scene import.
Does this not have animations on it? So you just like selected it to the bone, and you're telling the bone to just rotate 60 degrees
Yeah.
or something?
You got it.
Because like in here, like look at
When
this.
you're up with
Here.
porpoises.
I haven't touched the wheel yet.
Oh, you haven't touched the wheel?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you know what? It's because the physics on the wheel is freaking out.
Oh, do you want things in the scripts?
No, I did. For this one.
I've been
I
just trying to get Hitler to work.
I wouldn't. Don't worry about the steering wheel right now.
But I think it's affecting Hitler.
How?
I think it's hitting his arms.
Oh.
And they're spazzing out.
Okay.
So I can't see if the.
Okay.
So you drew it differently.
But if you guys are first person character. Character first person.
This is it. So, yeah. So it's got a physics collision on it.
Oh, it has its own. That should be.
Okay, everybody good?
Yep.
Everybody got Hitler into Mixamo? Or Maya? Go ahead and load your Maya plugin, the Mixamo plugin. Go ahead and throw a rig on him. And then save this scene as Hitler rig. and then we want to export Hitler here for Unreal. So go to File, Export All, and the export should be ready to go because we just exported something without animation. So we're going to export this as Hitler to Unreal. And all you got to make sure is animation is not checked on and embed media is checked on. We got some issues here. Okay. Yeah, we got some issues here. So we got to fix these errors. Okay, so in order to fix these errors, this is actually really easy. Go to your Windows hypergraph hierarchy. And in your hypergraph hierarchy, you're going to scroll down all the way down, and you're looking for something called joint GRP. And actually, yeah, there it is. It's called joint GRP. Well, hold on a minute. Bind joint. Yeah, you're actually looking for bind joint GRP. What's up?
So the animation loops, and that's a problem.
So turn off loop.
I don't know, because I was looking at the
Click on the animation.
and it's for turn left and turn right, and
Should be a checkbox.
yeah, there was a checkbox somewhere I saw a second ago.
What do we,
But it was
set on
unchecked
here?
when I saw it earlier. Be right back. I'm not using the montages.
Okay. All right, so you're actually looking for bind hips. Sorry. Bind hips. So you want to select bind hips and then hit Shift P. And what that does is unparent bind hips from the group, and then I think Hitler should still be okay here. My Maya is freaking out. Yeah, he's still okay. Now try and export him again. Oh, well. He was okay. Oh, he's okay. I guess. Yeah, he's okay. He's good enough. Yeah, so export all again and export him called Hitler to Unreal. We should get no errors this time. Yep, no errors.
Complex animation.
That's okay. And save your scene as Hitler Rig 2. And now we want to reference in the car. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to rotate the car to him. So if you select the car skeleton, you can rotate it negative 90 degrees. And so I didn't import the car, I referenced the car in.
And we referenced the most recent.
Yeah, the most recent car. And we want to move Hitler forward, but we want his main circle to stay on the ground. So in order to move Hitler forward, we have to select his feet controls, his knee controls, and he has a body circle, a black like hula hoop circle, and then you can move all of those forward and his entire body will move while the black circle stays. The reason we want the black circle staying is because it's attached to his root node. I think we may be able to move that, actually, to be honest with you. Yeah, I actually think we can move that big circle. I don't think it really matters.
How are you getting the big circle visible?
It should be there. You're not seeing it? Yeah, the big circle you can move kind of forward and over to where his butt kind of sits on the steering wheel.
When you rotate him, is his legs getting all messed up? That's mine.
Rotate Hitler?
Yeah.
Like,
It's all twisted.
you can grab the his feet controls and move them around, and they'll. So you rotate the car bones to face the direction he's facing. So you're not going to rotate Hitler at all.
Okay, that's where I messed up.
Yeah, don't rotate Hitler. Rotate the car. So the car should be rotated negative 90 degrees. Yeah. And then move the big Hitler circle at the bottom to make him face the steering wheel. Well, should be facing the steering wheel, but sit his butt in the seat.
I rotated the car on the.
Why? The next step you want to do, you want to grab his feet and move his feet up. Basically, you want to position Hitler in this car. That's what we're doing. So move his feet up. You're gonna have to move his knee controls forward and up, so his knees will point.
You said he has knee controls? Where?
They're like little arrows.
Oh, behind the feet?
They should be on the knee.
Maybe my feet
Is there any harm in making Jeep not visible to get him?
There is no harm in that.
I honestly can't tell if it's working.
I heard Moment of Truth a second ago.
That was a long time ago.
Uh-oh.
That was whenever the steering wheel was an issue and the looping.
Representative.
Well, he's not.
There are little triangles above his hand. If you select those, you'll see on the right hand side it says FKIK. If you change that value to 1, his hands will change into an IK mode where you can pull the hands and they'll follow the controller. That's what you want to do for the steering wheel position. So you don't want his hands grabbing the steering wheel in FK mode. If you look up here, you can see how I'm moving his hand. This is how we want his hand to connect to the steering wheel. I assume everybody in here took animation class? Okay. Well.
Oh.
And if you want to make him drive gangster style, I'm all for it.
I did it. But it's bugging out and I have no idea how to fix it. It works though.
What's bugging out about it?
Like his like that. Like I fixed that.
Is he playing his idol? He has an idle animation.
So like here. Look. So he goes and he's playing idle, right? That's his arms moving forward, and then he turns left because you can only tell by the shoulders.
Somebody needs to have his arm hanging off the side of the car and then right arm on the steering wheel.
But see, he's doing the left and then it resets at some point. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he's hitting things. Honestly, this course sucks because I keep hitting bumps. But yeah, see, he's playing it. Look. See, he plays it and then it resets. I have no idea. And then I'll go the other way and he plays it. So
Maybe
I did
you know
it.
what? Maybe he needs an idle.
Into that.
Oh no, maybe he needs a reverse.
Oh, like.
Because it's here to here, and then he needs a here to here.
Oh, I think.
Unless you
No,
take.
he needs a, like what you're saying. He needs an idle into this. I think. Like where it just holds it into here. So if he's turning left, when it gets there, it'll stay in there.
You
And then
could.
also for that. I don't know how to make animations.
But that's what he needs.
I think so. Because I think that, like, this is where that looping check mark. If you want to see where it fucking was, is in the most absurd spot. So you go into the animation, you open up the state machine, you open up the blend, you left click the blend, boom, there's the loop, and it's not even checked. That fixed it.
Okay. Well, tell me. Think about it for a second, and then tell me what animations we need because we're about to export them.
Yeah, what was that check? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
You guys getting Hitler posed? All right.
I think that's what it is.
So you need what?
just an idle into left turn, idle into right turn. So when he gets there, it switches to just him holding it there.
Now,
Then-
is he gonna go back?
I mean, we could have that too, but how?
He needs it back.
But yeah, he needs it back. But that would be. I could try it, but that would be a whole nother me coming in early and figuring that out too. So, which I'm fine with.
So basically, so what it would do is he would go here, and then it would go.
Yeah. Yeah, it snaps. But like, I'm okay with doing the back thing. It's just it's gonna. So like right now I'm using a blend space,
Mm-hmm.
and then that I couldn't do a.
So blend space will only do 3.
No, wait. I think. Yeah, no, you don't need the reverse because he already does that. See? Well, now it's bugging out. Because look. You gotta look at the start because it works at the. See, and then.
Oh, because you know why? Because he.
It reverses the blend space.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
a mix between like moving to.
So like it
So I
works
need
the
an
first
idle
time.
here.
It's just whenever if you let the animation stop or finish, then it does that reset and it just keeps resetting. I have no idea what that is. It might be the idle.
What's wrong with the idle?
No, I'm saying it might be like you need the going into the idle.
Oh,
That might fix it, but that's the only thing I can come up with.
all right.
Gonna be like the tire gods have frowned upon thee. So
The what gods are friend upon you?
Brandon's gonna be a little late. The tire gods have frowned upon the. He posted a picture.
Rotate. Set your frame range from 0 to 10. Because we're going to do steering wheel animations for Mr. Hitler here. It's going to be pretty cool when we get this to work with the
Yeah.
flags and stuff.
So like on the Hitler thing, like this is all you need. I don't even really need this. Like,
So you pull the blend space into the...
yeah, and this is it. Like I could actually have this right here, but it's better to have a state machine set up in case you want more. So like, which we're gonna add more, and when we add more, I'll have to branch off into different states.
So can you... So what? Loop?
Yeah, I somehow loop it.
Loop
I
left,
think,
loop right?
I think in
Everybody good to go?
in this tutorial right here, he goes over all the animation stuff. It's an Unreal one, and not this one. This one. He loops jumping. So like, this jumping has 3 different animation. It has a jumping and then
Can you
looping the fall.
save that project on that computer
Mm-hmm.
in a folder on the D drive called whatever? So you didn't use the montages?
No, because we kind of fiddled with it last time, and like, the node wasn't there.
You
I
just
could
used the
look
blend.
in.
You just used blend space.
Well, I used the animation graph and then a blend space in it. Because with the animation montage, like, I thought you could do that in the character blueprint,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't there last time, so I don't know.
Okay.
You said in the D drive somewhere?
Yeah, put a folder in there with my name, and just put that whole project in there.
drive, Chris.
All right, you guys good to go?
Today, do you want to go over the game jam thingamajig we might have to do?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Okay, guys. So we need to key Mr. Hitler here. So let's go ahead and open up your reference editor and turn off the car for a second. And I want you to select all of Hitler's controls except his hand that's on the steering wheel. So you can control click that one. Well, actually just select them all. And I want you to make a frame range of 0 to 10. And then on frame 0, key all of his controls on frame 0. So hit S. And now select that hand control and delete the key.
Your buttons would suck ass. The one you made?
Yeah, delete that one. Because what we're going to do is we're going to constrain his hand to the steering wheel.
How do we do it? You hide it like this. Or, I guess.
Select
yeah.
all of his controls. Key it on, hit S on frame 0. Then select the hand that's on the steering wheel, or both hands, if they're on the steering wheel, and delete the key that's on frame 0.
Maybe I did get Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, I got one. But I started thinking about it. It might be better with a 1D lens space. Because, like, in reality, if you hold A or D and you're not moving, you still want it to turn. You don't have to set up speed
Okay.
at all.
Are you guys good? Okay.
So I was like, I was thinking about switching it to just like direction. But what I did for direction was this stupid shit. Watch. This is what you usually do. Yeah, set this up. Yeah. Yeah, so when you get a delta rotator, it looks completely different. See, it looks like this. You have to right click and split struct to get the green. So, but this is, he still spazzes out sometimes, but once you start going, it works. But then when you turn, it works. And then it turns to the other side, but there's kind of that delay. See?
You guys good? Everybody good?
Okay,
All right.
I don't know how to do that,
Turn the
but
car
then,
back on.
The problem is this.
And what we're going to do is we are going to parent constrain the steering wheel, or his hand to the steering wheel. So some of you guys may have 2 hands, some of you guys may have 1 hand. If you have 2 hands, you have to do them separately, okay? So you select the bone, then shift select the control, and go to constrain parent. And then that way when you rotate the steering wheel, the hand will rotate with it.
Oh, that's much better.
So we're going with that one we placed in the.
Correct.
I want that animation.
Control P.
I have this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's so much easier to tell too. Is that what you said? The hand on the side, so it's easier to tell when you're driving if it works.
If you have 2 hand controls, you have to do them separately. You can't do them at the same time.
Shift P or Control P.
What's up?
Did you make this animation just now? Like his positioning?
Yeah.
Because what you could do for like when he turns like left, he has his arm then, and when he turns right, he puts his arm on the back seat. Well, the reason I'm saying that is because like it's hard to tell when you're testing it if it's working. So
Hey Chris,
What's up?
I think or my joint that I made for steering, it's not on there anymore. Like whenever
The
you do
animation
the
needs to be
car,
sped up, and then the animation resets. So let me show you one thing. So it was looping real bad. Like it would just be like loop, 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 loop until you hit W, and it still kind of does that. But before it was real bad. And to fix it, I turned off this loop, and like made it 100 times better. But that's all. That's the last thing.
You've got more advanced than I do.
Did you speed it up just now?
Are we going to the steering wheel object or the
How can I tell?
Looks a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, I just cut the play rate in half.
so the same, right?
In half.
Your,
Oh right.
yeah, so it's,
Shifts like
See.
that.
But the moment you hit W, it like, oh, I need to be an idle. So it needs to be like.
It needs to have a play idle
Get it?
animation. Do you have that? No, you don't. You just have
I just have this.
a
'Cause I-
paper from. You're just playing the turn information. So you don't have it working
No.
as an idle.
yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, but he's not playing that.
Yeah, until you hit W, and I don't get that. So
Because he's playing. He's up here. You need to
yeah,
have
but
it
they
down.
shouldn't play until you're actually moving, though. Is the thing.
You guys got it? We need to export these animations. So I do need idle here,
I think so.
and I do need idle here. Okay.
To keep the reset right.
What box? Or which slide?
You guys get it?
yeah, he's missing the, that,
Because we could have a state for just idle,
Oh, you're
right?
That
And that-
blue,
yeah, he's missing
Oh,
that box.
really?
Right there.
He needs to turn
better
on
not work.
IK.
Huh?
That better not work.
He should have rotated
What
his
the
hands.
fuck? That's stupid.
Did you turn on?
I
You turned
hate
on IK,
animations.
right?
This is why I didn't. This is why I quit.
What happened? What was
no,
it?
No, it stopped.
I've got arrow, I've got controls for the individual fingers. I've
It's all like.
got arrow.
Yeah. In the one space? You just add it right here?
No, put this to negative
Where did it go?
180.
Did it get left behind wherever I was?
Well, it's not based on rotation, it's based on direction. Why 180? Actually, it is
That
based
way
on
the
rotation.
points are directly behind you. So the zero is already positive.
That does happen.
Give me like that. Yeah. Say that again? Why?
Because if it's positive 180, negative 180, that's always behind you.
I'm gonna just watch. We're gonna wrap
Zero
up here.
is
We're done anyway. Hey, you guys good to go here? Okay, guys, we need to export these animations. Okay, so just watch this. We're gonna need to export an idle, a turn left, a turn right, a turn left idle, and a turn right idle. And it's really easy to do that. So all you're gonna do is select that bone since your hands are now constrained, and you're gonna set a key on the bone, and you're gonna rotate that bone again, -60. Right? And make sure auto key is on. And if his shoulder gets all jacked up, what's that?
Some double jointed action going on there.
Yeah, my shoulder, I need to rotate his shoulder forward a little bit so he can get some more leverage on the.
So it's negative 60 and then export it.
Yeah, -60, and then all you gotta do is you can leave the vehicle in the scene like this. I tested it out, works fine. And you just go export all. Turn on your animation. Make sure bake animation is on. Your frame range is set correctly. And this one will be H.
Would it be
H turn
better
left.
if we had,
And you're gonna
just an extra idle right here.
repeat this process.
No, that would play the. That would put.
And you need a turn left, a turn right, an idle, and then a turn left idle and a turn right idle. Does that make sense? So for example, I've got him turned all the way left here.
So why is he still?
I'm going to delete
Do we need to put
frame 0
Animation. What does it do? Is you just see?
and then export this as V or H turn left idle.
Wait, do we embed in media?
It doesn't matter. And then once we export all these animations, save this scene as
Howdy.
Hitler in the vehicle,
What's going on?
What's up, sir?
and then we will call it a day and pick up here next
What
time.
is that
So
word?
it's idle is just negative.
Oh, dropping.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's the
Oh,
most
crap.
important part.
Yeah, pretty much. But,
He was talking to him about personal issues or something.
oh,
So I'd believe it.
yeah. So,
Did you see my post on Trello towards him? You saw the Thomas one, but
Yeah.
did you see the Brock one?
no, I didn't.
Because whenever you're like, calm down, I got Thomas, you know.
Right.
And then Mike said like the same thing on Discord. I'm like, oh, I don't even care about Thomas. Brock's gonna drive me insane.
Right.
But it was like he posted a bunch of stuff on one of the producer things, but he didn't tag anybody in it, so like nobody knew about it. Like he had a Facebook page set up,
Right,
an
right.
Instagram page set up. I didn't even know about the Instagram one.
And that was when it was still called Spacium.
No, he made like new ones
Oh,
for
okay.
the Asphyxiate, and then he made something. Oh, he posted a link to like the Unreal thing. I posted like this huge paragraph. I'm like, oh, like what needs to be changed and added to it. And I was like, dude, tag the whole board when you add this stuff on here so we know.
Right.
But he never responded. And then I got all the programs we're using together and found the license and
Oh, cool.
things, so we can at least look at it when we need to.
Nice.
All right, see you next time.
See ya.
Oh no, sorry.
I think that worked.
I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Jesse.
See what these fools are doing?
Closest than Jesse.
Yeah, right.
Jesse.
Jumping all ahead and shit.
Ninja.
Sir.
This is the guy I was talking about with the character models.
Oh,
It's made
okay.
like he has 4 now.
Okay.
Like, if
Well,
you
he's
look
not-
at them,
You're saying in this class it's behind me. Okay. I got it.
yeah.
'Cause I
Because
was
when you were
thinking-
saying
yeah.
Eric, it threw me off, and I just put the pieces together
Right,
not too
right.
long ago.
Yeah, Jesse's alright.
He's the project dev of the intro class that I
Okay.
sit in.
Cool. Well, we need to talk to him.
You were animating your Dr. Doom.
What about it?
You were animating your Dr. Doom, or you were rigging your Dr. Doom.
Pretty sure it's still playing animation, right?
He was offset from the
Just putting
origin,
guideline
but he
Yeah.
still
Right.
said his,
Yeah.
his transformer still said 000.
Right.
How did you
Because we don't have it actually like
back?
that
Shit, I don't
animation
remember,
played
actually.
to
I'm pretty sure that Jose or Chris helped me figure
the
it out.
character blueprint.
But I think we.
What's your weird
actually, I don't
compile
remember.
issue?
Or are you having that issue now?
Yeah, I've got a model where
There's
it's
no
a
arrows.
piece off the origin just a little bit.
Or
So
going
I
to
wanna
it, that's
fix
what's
it, I
wrong.
wanna try
There you go.
try
And you
rig
have
it.
no transition.
It's not symmetrical.
Oh, okay.
Which, you know, if it was an organic character, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
a big issue with it, but it's a robot, you know, it should be.
Need a back arrow.
Right.
Just
Which robot do you have?
do what I'm telling you to
Because
do.
I found a
not
really
what
good
I'm
one, a
doing.
really cool one on Turbo Squid.
No, I made it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Later, guys.
See you next time.
Thursday.
Howdy.
There's the
Still-
man.
Still not on Discord.
What?
He's on the other one. He's on the other one. He's just not on.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I told you I added him.
No, Discord. Not Trello.
No, I added him
using that?
to our other one on Discord.
No, on
Right,
Discord
right.
they have to join themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you give them a link and they have to click that link themselves.
Didn't I invite you though or something?
Yeah.
That day that we talked on Facebook?
Well, Trello, yes. Discord.
I'm pretty sure.
Here, I'll show you
Are
real
y'all
quick.
still using that regularly?
Yeah, I'll show it real quick.
Discord?
Here,
50 billion messages. I
have to turn it off because these fuckers are just talking about stuff.
Well, I get bored.
Putting a dot up there.
I posted a dot because nobody said anything for like an hour, just to see.
And I actually checked it.
Exactly.
Respond
I have
to
a
the dot.
quick Mike question.
Well, Mike actually responded first.
Got a model, get ready to export it.
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
export
There you
it
go.
rig. He
So like on
all his
Discord,
transforms,
here's the link right here. You
Says
just
he's
click
at
it.
000, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
not. Yeah,
Right
Okay.
here.
I've tried
You just click it,
reset it,
and then
or,
it takes you
resetting
here,
all
and then you sign in.
transformations.
He's
And
off
you might
visually.
have to go back and click the link again once you
Well,
set
he's
up your
off the
account.
he's
Have
off
you done
the
this yet
0
at
0
all?
mark.
Mhm.
So when I import him,
Um,
I import it
Rebellious.
to FBX, or export it to FBX, and then import it to mixamo.
And then
The
if you go to
symmetry
ours,
is off.
it's
You know,
the
that
Discord
line.
link
Yeah.
is right
Click-
there.
I mean, yeah, I could unclick the symmetry and then, just manually
Yeah.
put the joints
No, because
there.
it's new.
No, I mean
But
the Discord.
it maybe it's just my OCD.
Have you? Oh yeah, you haven't been on since like
You want it to be
the
sent.
day I told
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to like
I
go
just
on it.
and
Everybody's
trying
in
to
there.
figure out how to
Yeah,
move
except
him
him.
to 0
So you created a
0,
link for TGR then?
or
And then
not
set
0,
it back to
okay.
0.
It's on there,
Zero,
too.
Cool.
Z.
Yeah, I should be
And
getting
then-
that screenplay today.
Set him back to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did it in here today. You go to freeze transformations. So you'll move him to wherever you want him, and it's gonna change that. But then when you hit freeze transformations, it sets all that to 0.
Lost forever. And I ran into a friend of mine at Walmart a couple days ago, and he was like, "Dude, I still have that fucking script." I was like,
Mhm.
"And I spent 5.5 years writing that script, man.
For
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah. I started a production company in the late 90s, and a stunt team and all kind of shit. And we were ready to go doing it. Life happened, so 10 years later, here I am. But it's definitely the most full thing that I can possibly think of as far as for doing something.
Hello?
I think it would transfer quite nicely.
Hello?
It's basically a mix between Time Cop, Matrix, and Blade Runner. Like I wrote it back in, like I said, 98. So the first time I saw the trailer for The Matrix, I was like, fuck.
So sci-fi apocalypse.
I have no idea what Time Cop is. When was
It's an old
that?
Jean-Claude Van Damme movie from the early 90s.
Which was
Which
awesome.
was amazeballs.
Is Van Damme the guy that was in Highlander?
No, that's Christopher Lambert, who's
Oh.
in Huts.
You don't know who John Claude Van Damme is?
I'm really bad with actor names.
He's the guy that does the crazy split. He does a lot of flat earth stuff right now. He's,
Time Cop, right?
Yeah. It was a really good movie, dude.
Oh,
Big movies for a long time.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything in a while. But now he's all about
Is that
truth
right?
and disclosure.
Did you guys get it working?
We're working on it.
we need that idle position.
Well, I've got him here.
Well, I got it stuff over here.
It'll just translate. Man.
I can redo it on yours though, if you want me to.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. I got the project here.
Barely see the stash.
Yeah.
From the side.
You got a little Jeep and animating him to turn the wheel.
All right.
Um,
Maybe we could blow 'em up too.
So let's import.
We could actually do that. Have a death state and have an explosion.
So Hitler
play.
to
We
Unreal.
did something.
Import all. And then we need the vehicle. So now I can't remember if I imported the vehicle as
Scene class.
Jeep
This
to
was
Unreal.
2 minutes ago.
You have it on your phone now.
A lead in a project needs to have all forms of communication open if he's ever needed. Right, Chris?
Right.
Ha! I win.
You all know how to get a hold of me, right?
No.
I come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
The cool thing about this guy is he has the steering wheel animations too.
The what?
This guy has the steering wheel animations too.
Oh, cool.
Got a bummed ass call.
I honestly want a military Jeep, like I think that like an old World War II one.
Thanks, Chris.
See you, bro.
Awesome.
You know?
And probably super unsafe.
See you, bro.
Unsafe. You conquer the world with that
Oh,
shit, man.
Mikey.
They're really shitty,
I'm
aren't they?
probably gonna have to have you show Matt how to create the blueprint hallway the way we did, because his hallways are screwed, and I'm not gonna. I spent 4.5 hours.
Modular Mike?
No. I'm Matt. I'm sorry. I'm Thomas. Jesus.
Thomas. Oh.
On his level.
Yeah.
Because it's fucked.
Dude.
I mean, it's not fucked. Like I spent like 4.5 hours, like I said, working on it and fixing it and shit. But he stretched his hallways.
Oh.
Like he didn't
like
scale
he scaled.
them properly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like all the pipes, like the hallways look good, and I was trying to see if there was a way to just re-import the new mesh on top of it, but I don't know if I was doing it wrong or whatever. So.
I told Modular Mike about it, but like there's something fucked with his walls.
Well, I think that he said that he fixed that.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I
hoping.
think Thomas was working on it beforehand.
Because I was gonna create a whole like, just have a bunch of them done for this weekend and bring them in, like completely done.
Right.
But like I started messing with it. I'm like, fuck this, I ain't doing this.
Yeah, they're weird, man. I mean,
It was like 1% and like 90 or 89 to 90 degrees. That 1 degree was like 180 degrees. I was just like, what?
How does that even make sense? All right, well, we'll see what we can do. But
I'll
really,
show him
I'm really happy with because like he had, he's got the dorms or whatever, the barracks, and he just had the cubes in there, to do the beds and all that. But the rooms didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I spent, like I said, like 4.5 hours fixing this one room. Took out, like, he had these 2 doorways, and all of his doorways were just the mesh doors and not any blueprint doors, so I changed all that.
Did
So-
you end up going through and making your whole game with those blueprint hallways?
No.
What's the matter, Chris?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
So it's okay. Like there's no
I wonder if we
placeholder
could do it
except that
with
one that's like hallway
Steam
cleaning,
machines,
right?
Yeah.
like they have
Okay.
the jump.
And I'm not even sure if that was actually right or not.
I don't know, but y'all need to figure this out because I'm
Okay.
teaching this.
Because I might just show him that one and be like, here, you can
Put it on
switch
the
out
reference thing.
your
Yeah, that's
models.
cool. Maybe we can work on doing a couple, 3 of those, and then I can do all that. We'll see, that's, okay.
What do you think, Michael?
What?
We could go with play idle animation, play turn left, play idle animation, but then over here play right, idle,
Well,
link
we
it up
can-
in a square and delete this blend space.
Look,
It's doing that weird loop thing.
it's okay.
Is it okay? Because it's not okay.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
Y'all
it's
don't
it's
like-
definitely not okay.
Y'all don't like anything,
Well, I don't. He's
Can
pretty
I-
easy to please.
huh?
Wow.
I'm pretty hard to please, but he's
The
pretty.
$2 door can be nice sometimes.
The what?
The $2 door.
What does that mean? I was thinking $2 whore.
That's actually what it is.
Okay, so
In Navy ships, they used to have a $5 door and a $2 whore, and it was the price of a hooker.
was it on this ship or was it just
No,
where
it
they
was
go
in
to?
port.
Okay. That's a pretty awesome
So it's like,
reference. But we don't need to get rid of the blend space.
well, because the blend space references the idle, so if we have another idle, then it'll play the idle, hit that idle, and it won't play the other 2 animations on the blend space.
Well, can't we have it where like?
Also,
I think I see what you're saying.
I tried to do a transition back to it, but it doesn't like it.
Well, you don't transition back to entry. You just don't.
No, transition back to idle.
Oh, what did you set up the
Yeah.
the transition? Did you? Because I didn't see that.
H turn
uh,
left.
This thing right here. You went in here and did this.
L. H turn right.
I didn't see
Still
that
wasn't
at all.
working though. Well, you were talking to
H
what's his face?
turn
I
right.
was trying to keep an eye.
You're good.
Turn L idle.
Did Ninja look at your models, Jesse? Dang it.
You see,
Turn
Unreal
up
Engine just awarded like
R,
$80,000 or
idle.
something.
Yeah, they're all right here. See?
Okay, this has
It's
all.
80,000.
This has all animations,
Yeah.
and all physics.
What?
This one's good to go.
Okie doke.
I don't know if you guys want to try it.
Let's do it.
Not right now because class has started.
Okay.
But here's all the Unreal grants if you want to look through them real quick. Get an idea.
I don't know. I don't
Close
see any of
this.
those. Almost not hentai there. I don't know how it's ever gonna get past green light.
That's ridiculous because those are making so much money right now.
You know, it's all that'll get past the green light.
Is it really
That
now?
and 8-bit horror games is all people vote on.
But like the problem with Greenwood is there's no like
There's no
reason for
motivation.
well no there's no reason to go to it. Like it's just bored people.
Well, did you save that project? I don't know. So it still doesn't work, or what?
No, Michael, delete it all.
It
works.
Well, we just need a couple of